Hello YouTube, my name is Phil, and today I have some Killzone Shadowfall gameplay for you. Now, it's not the most sort of excessively amazing gameplay that you will ever see, but that's kind of, the whole bang average thing, isn't it? Really, right there in front of you. But what it was my second ever game on the multiplayer. It's a game of team deathmatch. I was playing with a buddy of mine, Mac, and we had a good time. Really enjoyed it. I think I went something like 17 and 11 in this gameplay. I've edited out some shitty bits and left in some averagey bits. So yeah, I do hope you enjoy the gameplay. Now, what I wanted to kind of talk to you about a little bit is Killzone itself and what I think. Now, I'll be honest with you. So I was always kind of, I was always going for a PlayStation 4 as the next-gen console for me. It just seemed like a natural progression because I didn't really like the idea of the Xbox One for various reasons. But I am very impressed, I'll be honest. It wasn't something that was really even remotely on my radar. The only reason I got Killzone Shadowfall is because Watch Dogs isn't coming out until April. So let me explain that a little bit. What I did was I pre-ordered my PlayStation 4 back in like May, June time. Did it through Amazon. And then they sent me an email a little while later saying that because I pre-ordered quite early, I could get a bundle pack. And what bundle pack would I want? Now, I'd already pre-ordered Destiny. I'd already pre-ordered Battlefield 4. And, so which game would I like with the bundle pack? And I had a little look at the bundles they had. And I thought, do you know what? Actually, Watch Dogs, that looks like my type of game. That looks an exciting, interesting game to play. So I pre-ordered that. And then a couple of weeks later, Ubisoft decided that actually it wasn't going to be ready in time. So rather than release an unfinished game, shock horror, they said that they would delay it, which... fantastic. I wish more developers would do that. EA, if you're listening, DICE, all of that. But yeah, so because it wasn't going to be ready, they just delayed it. So we will get the full experience of the game as and when we get it properly, which is fantastic. But it meant I had to change my bundle pack that I was getting. So I had a little look. Nothing else massively excited me. I didn't really want another FIFA game. So I went for Killzone Shadowfall just because, why not? It's an exclusive. Now, the nice thing about it, being an exclusive... pardon me, is that the developers themselves have then used the full sort of power and stuff of the PlayStation. Now, I don't know whether or not this is really going to sort of show up very well. I mean, partly to the way that I record it, partly to the fact that YouTube compresses the granny out of everything when it goes up, and partly because, to be honest, I really only render in 720p, so it doesn't take forever and a day to upload. It's a beautiful game. It really is. It's stunning to look at. It's solid, smooth, 60 frames a second. There's no lag. There's no slowdown. It seems to work very, very well. And yeah, it's lovely to look at. The textures and stuff seem very, very nice indeed. And I'm really impressed. And I suppose that's one of the really nice things about it being an exclusive is that they're just working with the one machine and they're going to try and get as much out of it as they possibly can. Now, with it being a first-person shooter, I thought I would have a little think about the other first-person shooters that I've bought over the last 15 months or so. So there was Medal of Honor Warfighter, Black Ops 2 as well, Aliens Colonial Marines, Battlefield 4, which I have bought for 2 different platforms now. And the best thing about this one, in comparison to all of those, is that it's really good. It's well balanced. It's finished. It seems right. It seems very, very good. They've come up with some nice ideas. Like they did a free-to-play weekend for it, just so that people could trial it out and see if they wanted to play it. As you can see, I'm a bit of a noob here. I'm trying to sort of shoot through shields that I'm not allowed to. So it works really, really well, and it's really nice to sort of play a game that's well balanced and isn't fucked, and you're not waiting for patches immediately. Just to be able to sort of play a game at a reasonable sort of level. And it will just sort of go straight away. And it's fantastic. It's a really nice feeling. And I know there's all sorts of issues, and EA this, and DICE that, and what have you else, and we can sort of talk about that until the cows come home. But what with like Call of Duty Ghosts and Battlefield 4, this is actually just a really nice way to play a game that it does just work. I mean, the map design isn't... If I'm being really brutal, the map design isn't tremendous, but there are sort of specific spawn areas that are well protected. So there's shields and there's turrets and bits and pieces that stop you getting just spawn raped. It doesn't happen. The weapons seem relatively well balanced. There's 3 classes, none of which seem particularly overpowered. I mean, some of the sniper rifles are one-hit kills, but they take forever and a day to fucking reload, the assault rifles seem pretty good, but then if you're playing as the assault class, then you're not, you don't get tremendous sort of perks. Support seems to get really good perks, but then their guns aren't amazing, although the shotgun is fun as fuck if you like to get very, very close to people. Yeah, and it's just a good, fun, great game to play. I'm genuinely really enjoying it much, much more than I thought. And it's almost like it's not so much a hidden treasure, because I know that sort of PlayStation people have always been very kind of, Killzone is the way forward. Killzone's a great games. But it was something that was just completely off my radar. And for me, it's come as a really nice surprise. The fact that this is a game that I didn't necessarily expect to be playing vast amounts of. I bought a few games when I got the PlayStation, and I'd expected to play those more often than this one. And yet, I'm probably having the most fun with this out of any of the others at the moment. So, yeah, it's a great surprise. It's a really nice game. I would suggest if you're on a PlayStation 4 and you don't have it, it's probably worth picking up. The multiplayer is a lot of fun. I haven't touched single player, obviously, because I don't really do that. But yes, it's a great game. So I thought I would just give you my little 2 pennies on it. You can see me die in all sorts of ways on it. If you enjoyed the video, folks, please don't hesitate to hit like. Click the link in the middle for a previous video. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, good night, good afternoon, and good day.